Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in for today's first day tournament report, wrap-up report, whatever you want to call it. And I was going to sort of give you guys a rundown how my day went today. I had one of those sort of meh type days. I had a limit that weighed 12 pounds, which wasn't great, yet it didn't suck. It's sort of like that upper middle of the road type bag, which I've got to improve on that tomorrow to sort of get where I want to get in this tournament. But 12 pounds was definitely not my goal today. I mean, I sort of set a goal coming into today after what I saw in practice of 18 to 22 pounds. I really thought that I would get the opportunity for those type of fish, and I just never got the bites by any good ones. I mean, I never got bit by good fish all day long, and it wasn't because I wasn't fishing for good ones. I was fishing, the type of baits and the type of areas that produce big ones, and and there was a lot of bags like mine too. There was a lot of those 9 to 11 pound bags out there, and that's the whole thing about it. If you don't get that 5 or 6 pound kicker with your limit, I mean, then you got the middle of the pack bag. So from that standpoint, I'll sort of run through what I did today and what I'm going to do tomorrow different. The big news today, guys, was the wind. Man, the wind was just crazy out there today. It blew sustained 25 to 30 all day. It never let up. I mean, it was blowing when we took off this morning, and it was blowing when we came in this afternoon. And that's the bags that you see, the good bags that you see caught today. A lot of that are going to be wind generated bites for sure. And I tried to capitalize on that. I mean, I really did. I fished like a big spinnerbait a lot in the wind, and I just couldn't get them going on a spinnerbait. I know that's probably how the bigger bags were caught today, but I started catching a few on a crankbait. Probably stayed with it too long. I probably should have just spent a little bit more time with the spinnerbait. But when you roll through some of your best areas and not get a bite on a spinnerbait, and then you catch one on a crankbait, what do? You just keep throwing a spinnerbait if you're not getting bit on it? So that's how important. And there's the tip I'll tell you guys: those indicator fish, getting bit by one of those good indicator fish, like the 4 or 5 pound class fish, to get your confidence in that one bait that can produce those bigger ones are key. And I did not want to have to stay with that crankbait today. I mean, not that it's a little fish lure. It's not. You can catch big ones here on a crankbait. But I just felt with the wind today and the water clarity being dirty, I probably should have spent a little bit more time with the spinnerbait, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow unless we lose our wind. But the thing about these tournaments, these things are they're 2 days long. I mean, they're not 1 day long. So the first day, you don't want to take yourself out of position to do well, which that's a good thing about today is I kept myself in the hunt, for if I go out tomorrow and catch a good bag, I'm right where I need to be in the tournament. The worst thing you could do the first day of the tournament is just catch 1 or 2 fish, and then you're basically out of it for the whole tournament. So my strategy tomorrow that was different today, and first of all, let me get back a little bit. I concentrated a lot on wind today with the spinnerbait and the crankbait, and probably maybe spent too much time in the wind. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not let the wind play that big of a factor in where I want to fish. I'm really going to start to fish those areas that those fish are going to start moving to bed a little bit more, because I think looking back, and I'm going through it in my mind even as we're talking here, but looking back at today, the areas that I was fishing were a little bit more pre-spawn type areas, and tomorrow I'm going to fish maybe a little bit flatter stuff in the same type of area that I'm fishing. Maybe those bigger fish are up even bedding as we speak. I mean, the water temperature is 60 degrees, so I'm sure some of them are. Another thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm sort of going to flip-flop my water. I'm basically going to run the same water that I fished today. I think I'm in the right water. I don't think it's a matter that I need to change water. I think I need to maybe change some techniques within that water and maybe hit it in a little bit different routine, a little bit different rotation. So I'm going to flip-flop the way I fished tomorrow from what I did today. And plus, I've got a longer day tomorrow. I'm in the last flight. Today I was in the first flight with a short day. But I don't have any excuses to make today. I mean, I thought I fished really good. The fish clean. Boat positioning was extremely hard today. Anytime you got around docks with that wind blowing 25 and 30, you had to spend so much time making sure your boat and motor didn't get scratched up against cables. And if you took your foot off the trolling motor for a second, you drifted down 10 or 20 foot. So that was the big challenge for today. But given the fact that it was windy, I thought that I used my time good and and fished very efficiently. And that's the main thing that you want to look back when you come off the water. It doesn't make any difference how you did. If you can come off the water and say, given the information that I had and given the choices that I had, would you have made those choices under those same circumstances again? And yes, I would have. I mean, so I'm pretty happy with the way the day went like that, even though it didn't catch the weight I want. But we never do, guys. You never catch the weight that you want to catch unless you're leading the tournament. So it doesn't matter if you're second place or 100th place. Fishermen are just never satisfied with what they catch. We always want to catch more. So anyway, I've got a couple different things up my sleeve that I'm going to try tomorrow. One of the things that I might try tomorrow that I didn't do today is, like I said, I fished the moving baits a lot today with the wind. I think I might slow down a little bit tomorrow and fish a jig or some soft plastic a little bit more. If those fish are setting up to be bedding, and I covered this in one of my videos a couple weeks ago, is when those fish start to get really focused in on bedding, they like those bottom bouncing lures a little bit more. And that's one adjustment I'm going to make tomorrow within that same area, is maybe slow down with the jig or soft plastic, something like that. And that might make all the difference in the world. But it wasn't easy. Gary Klein was in this tournament. He just had 4 little ones today. I saw a lot of guys out there that had like 8 or 9 pound bags, so it's not like everybody, caught them today. The people that caught them, got dialed into the right thing. They, fished the conditions and, we're using the techniques that produce some quality bites. So that's the report today. Like I said, I'm going to go back and I've got a 2-hour drive back home now. I'm going to think about sort of how I want to plan the day for tomorrow. And the whole thing about these tournaments is that you can't let what you caught today affect your decisions tomorrow. I mean, you've got to go out with an open mind. You've got to stay positive. You've got to stay focused. And you got to realize that, anything can happen. Somebody's going to catch a 20 to 25 pound bag of fish tomorrow, and they're going to move from 100th place in this tournament up to close to making the cut. So that's what you always have to focus on. You always have to focus on, there's big bags to be caught out there. Maybe I'll be one of those guys to catch them. That's what everybody needs to tell themselves. But in order to do that, you have to put yourself in the position with the water and the techniques that can produce those kind of fish. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow anyway. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys following and everything. Really do. It seems like these tournament videos are pretty popular. Get quite a few views on the tournament practice and the tournament videos. So I'll keep doing them because I think you can learn a lot about it. I mean, it doesn't really matter how I do these tournaments. When I share the stuff that I'm going to share with you in my practice and tournaments, every bit of information I give you is something that you can use, for yourself. If I didn't do good or if I failed in a particular day, you can use that to add to your knowledge. And if I did good, you can also use that. So that's one way we'll look at it here for filming these videos. But I filmed today. I'm going to film today and tomorrow. So I'm going to put together a video of my tournament, the first and second day of the tournament here. I'll probably post that this weekend so you guys can see exactly how I was fishing and what I was doing out there. So again, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you.